You're watching WNBC for New York. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Carol Jenkins, Al Roker, and Len Berman. This is News for New York at 6.
Well, good evening. Chuck is off tonight. The Labor Day weekend may be starting off with a real bang. We're under a severe thunderstorm watch right now, and Ira Jo Fisher has the latest on what we can expect. Ira Jo.
All right, Carol. At the moment, if we look at the sky, at least here in Manhattan, we see quite a lot of sunshine and some clouds, too. However, over the last 3 hours, we have seen a squall line of thunderstorms pushed ahead by a cold front that's approaching and invading our very hot, humid air. And there you see the thunderstorms that are scattered over Pennsylvania and right now moving into western New Jersey. Let's look at our exclusive live Doppler weather radar, and we will show you that with the exclusion of what is ground clutter right here, the cells of thunderstorms are making their way as well into southeastern New York State. So, as we look at the areas of the watches, it is important that you know we're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight. Let's look at that area right now, shall we do that? Severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight in all of southeastern New York State, all virtually of New Jersey with the exception of the extreme coastal areas, and it includes New York City and Nassau County. We'll, of course, be back later to tell you more. Stay tuned and stay safe. Carol.
Much. Well, it was a bizarre mistake. A Brooklyn woman declared dead by the people who were treating her. It turns out she was unconscious but alive. And a new report says the two emergency medical technicians were dead wrong. News 4's Tiwa Chang is at EMS headquarters in Maspeth, Queens. Tiwa.
Well, Carol, they're singing a different tune here at EMS headquarters, although they won't talk to us on camera. A couple of months ago, they said that there's no way the two EMS technicians could have known this woman was alive whom they thought was dead. Now they're saying they should have known, and they're saying also they should change their investigative process, all because of this incident that occurred 2.5 months ago. In June, 40-year-old Nancy Vitale took a drug overdose and was unconscious for hours in her basement apartment in Brooklyn's Marine Park, according to police. Now, two EMS technicians were called, and finding her body cold to the touch and rigid, determined she was dead and left. Later, a medical examiner was filling out the woman's death certificate when he heard a moan and found Nancy Vitale was alive. This was some 2 hours after EMS had left her for dead. It shocked neighbors at the time.
They can't even tell if someone's dead, and they're speculating as to whether it's a suicide. It's kind of frightening.
Now an investigation by the State Department of Health has determined the two EMS technicians, Charles Harris and Robert White, quote, performed in an incompetent manner. They, again quoting the Department of Health, did not do the ABCs in this case. The two technicians could face possible suspension and fines. Most neighbors of the almost victim expected this.
It's a rush. I know they get pressure on them all the time, but I really don't think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing the right way.
So you're not surprised by the finding that they're incompetent?
Not at all. I'm sure they'll find more people like that.
But one neighbor who's a police officer says he doesn't think the EMS techs should be faulted for what he calls an honest mistake.
I don't think they messed up, not at all.
Because?
Because of the situation that they had to work under there. They had a person who was on the floor for over a day, and there was rigor mortis in the body and lividity, and normally people that are alive don't have rigor mortis.
Now, as we said, EMS would not talk to us on camera. They did release this statement to us. The statement says they plan to retrain the two EMS technicians. It also says they plan to review their own investigative process, apparently because the Department of Health was able to find something out in their investigation that EMS couldn't find out in theirs, so they're going to change their entire process. They finally note that they plan to keep these two EMS technicians off the street until they're retrained. Reporting live in Queens, Tiwa Chang, News 4, New York. Carol?
Thank you very much, Tiwa. The asbestos emergency in New York City schools could force students to attend classes on some holidays to make up for lost time. School unions and the Board of Education are working out the details. We took our cameras inside PS 133 in Brooklyn to witness the asbestos cleanup. The custodians union charges that contractors are doing a shoddy job on the $34 million project, just patching it up.
I think that they're trying to get the schools ready for the deadline, and I just hope that it's being done in a safe manner.
When they aren't doing it right and they continue not to do it right, somebody's got to go in there and clean their house out so that we can clean up the schools, clean out the Board of Education's way in which they are dealing with this.
Well, parents found out yesterday that school will start on September 20th instead of next Thursday. News 4's Kelly Mack is live at Orchard Beach with the latest on city plans to keep the kids busy. Kelly.
Well, Carol, city officials realize that keeping the 1 million plus school children entertained while they wait for classes to reopen is very important to parents around the whole city area. With that in mind, they have decided to keep several beaches, pools, and recreation centers open for at least another week past Labor Day. Now, portions of 5 beaches will remain open and manned by lifeguards. They include Coney Island, Manhattan Beach, Rockaway Beach, Midland Beach, and of course, this one right here, Orchard Beach in the Bronx. This beach used to close on Labor Day, as did the city's other beaches and pools. But because city school children won't be back in school until September 20th, the New York Parks and Recreation Department is keeping open several beaches and pools until at least September 12th.
It's tough on a lot of the parents, we know, so we're trying to provide whatever we can in a way of recreation for the children.
Only about 40 or 50% of the city's beaches are going to remain open past Labor Day. Those beaches will be manned by lifeguards, like the young man you see behind me right here. Now, if you come to a beach and you don't see signs that a lifeguard is on duty, we're told you shouldn't go in the water. 11 Olympic-sized swimming pools will also remain open until September 12th, including this one, Lasker Pool at the north end of Central Park. Although some of the kids we spoke with are happy about the extra vacation, parents aren't so thrilled.
I'm concerned because I do want my child to go to school.
But we can get an education with the books in our house.
I know. With the books, you can read the books and, you know, not watching TV because also
and
on
computers
the TV
in the library.
and everything, they also got education.
Does he just want more vacation?
I know.
It's all right, but I'm tired of summer vacation. It's boring. I want to go back to school. At least you got something to do.
It's the first time I come here, first this year.
Do you expect you'll be using it in the next couple of weeks?
Sure, yeah. If it's open, I will.
The lifeguards at Lasker tell me they're happy to have the extra work. And if the pools and beaches stay open until September 20th, as city officials are discussing, they won't mind that either. City officials expect there are going to be a lot of people using these facilities. Well, if you're sick of the beaches and the pools, there are, of course, some other options. The city's 15 recreation centers will remain open for at least the next week with expanded hours. Now, they will all open no later than 9 a.m. They will stay open till at least 9 p.m. Some of them will stay open till as late as 10:45. Now, how much will this be costing the city for the expanded services? They estimate about $500,000. We're live in Orchard Beach. Kelly Mack, News 4, New York.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Well, once again, here is some numbers you can call to get the latest on programs for youngsters and on the asbestos cleanup. Check Operation Clean House at 718-472-1705. Once again, that's 718-472-1705. And there's also Youth Line at 1-800-246-4646. 1-800-246-4646. And you can call both numbers 7 days a week. Well, the search is on tonight for a firebug at a popular Jersey Shore resort. Investigators say someone set fire to 3 small stores on the boardwalk in Wildwood. No one was hurt. Officials believe one person is to blame, and from the looks of it, he knows what he's doing. They say this fire started in 3 places, then lit a big fire by stuffing paper and trash into cracks in the building. Well, Mayor David Jenkins picked up an endorsement today from State Attorney General Robert Abrams. Abrams praised the mayor for his vision and his leadership. And as the race for mayor heats up, the two sides are shaping up. Guy Molinari and Charles Rangel were once in Congress together, but now they're on opposite sides of the fence. News 4's Pablo Guzman looks at the styles of these powerful campaign advisors.
The former congressman, now borough president from Staten Island, and the congressman from Harlem are as interesting in their contrasts as are their respective districts. Guy Molinari of the city's most rustic outer borough, so removed it almost resembles mid-America, and Charles Rangel from the community that's been called the capital of African America, home of the Black Renaissance. And as fascinating are what they have in common: seasoned politicos who are senior advisors to mayoral candidates David Jenkins and Rudolph Giuliani.
How does it look for your guy?
It looks very good. Rudy Giuliani has got the momentum on his side. It appears that the Jenkins campaign is in deep trouble.
But would you say that David may be just a bit behind right now?
Well, I don't know what may a bit behind. I would be more optimistic and say, no, he may be just a little bit ahead.
But we still have 60 days to go, and that's a long time in politics, yes, indeed. So we take we don't want to be overly confident. Obviously, that can be a serious mistake.
Now, so far, I know that he was the only Yankee fan in Brooklyn, that he has a happy second marriage, that he loves his child, and he's not nearly as mean-spirited as he was imagined in the last time. Now, if that qualifies you for mayor, I'm running for president.
The pictures on the walls of their offices tell the story of a lifetime in politics, of 2 lifetimes in politics. And these 2 veterans now find themselves playing key roles in the race for all the marbles, and they're pulling no punches.
If our city is to survive, and it's in bad shape, I mean, the mayor's budget, everybody agrees, even some of the mayor's people, is a farce. So we're in deeper trouble than anybody has suggested.
I think that when people have a chance to find out what Mr. Giuliani's accomplishments have been in all of his adult and professional life, to see how comfortable he feels with baldy, unruly, drinking police officers showing disgrace on the uniform.
You know, after you spend some time with Molinari and Rangel, you find them to be so refreshing and direct that by comparison, the guys that they're supporting for mayor, well, they seem kind of tame. Sort of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Pablo Guzman, News 4, New York.
And still to come on News 4 at 6, a donkey diving act is stirring up anger on Long Island. We'll tell you what animal lovers are planning to do. If your holiday plans include the beach, we'll tell you if the water's clean, and Ira lets us know if the weather will cooperate. And what a find. Meet the little boy who stumbled on buried treasure in his Bergen County backyard. We'll be back after a break.
Amazing.
Suffolk County officials promised to plunge into the legal controversy over the diving donkeys. The animals have been jumping 20 feet into a pool at the Peconic Fair in Riverhead, but activists argue the beasts are being burdened with cruelty. The donkey's owner says the animals are treated well. Officials say they will investigate this weekend, but they think the law falls on the side of the owner. Well, it's the beginning of a long holiday weekend, Labor Day marking the end of summer, and along with the traditional parades, barbecues, and picnics come the traditional traffic jams. If you're planning a holiday exodus, steer clear of the Lincoln Tunnel. The Port Authority is predicting delays of up to an hour. One lane outbound will be closed for construction starting at 9 tonight and ending at 6 on Monday night. If you're thinking about heading for the shore, Carolyn Gussoff is live at Jones Beach to tell us what to expect there.
Carol, it has been the busiest summer in 10 years here. A record 5.5 million people at Jones Beach, with more than 100,000 per day expected this weekend. Now, beach officials say they can't predict the weather, but they do say don't worry about the water. 72 degrees and just about as clear as it gets here. Health officials say it is the best water quality in years off Long Island, and beachgoers are taking notice.
I think the water's been cleaner this year than ever before.
How do you know?
Well, I've got a boat, and I live in Seaford, a block off the water, and I can go in a canal swimming now. As of years ago, I wouldn't dare.
Health officials say the big difference has been the lack of rain. No overflowing storm drains that washed in the medical waste in the now infamous summer of '88. In fact, except for high fecal coliform levels from bird waste that's closed Zacks Bay in Nassau County, the beaches have had a banner year.
Our ocean beaches are generally in very good shape. The wash up of materials are just based upon climatic conditions that occur every so often, and they just haven't occurred this year.
The water has been absolutely beautiful this year. It has been clean. Every morning our surf rakes clean the entire length of the 6 miles of beach. That's even before the people get here, starting at 5 a.m.
After the morning cleanup, the only thing littering Jones Beach is an occasional jellyfish. August is prime time. Beach officials say you can do your own inspecting and you'll see the difference, and beachgoers apparently are.
All the time, yeah. With 2 little kids, we're afraid, of course, we don't want them to get sick or anything, so it seems very good.
Well, with the water in good shape, your only concern might be the weather and the traffic. As for the traffic, beach officials say get here early. The choicest parking spots fill up by 8:30 in the morning. As for the weather, it has changed dramatically in just the last half hour. Another tip, perhaps you can call someone you know by the beach. If it's cloudy where you wake up, it could be perfectly sunny here at Jones Beach. I'm Carolyn Gussoff reporting back now to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Carolyn. She's talking about the sudden change in weather.